Hello, everyone, and my name is Fyer-Huné. I'm from Fyer Films, and today I have lovely Mim Welchshire here, who is the owner of Paint and Sip UK. So we're just going to learn a little about herself and everything that she does, really. So tell us about yourself.
Um, where to begin? Um, I'm a 29-year-old currently residing in Stoke-on-Trent. Not originally my hometown, but I see it as my home now. I'm in the final year of studying fine art at Fyer-Huné, and I'm a mum. I work part time doing art workshops, and I run Paint and Sip.
So a very busy lady,
Yeah.
literally all your fingers and all the pies. Busy, 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 busy. I can just imagine. That's a lot, but it sounds amazing. So, when did you? Because you're doing a university degree in art, and your whole life's around art, really. So, how did you start getting into it?
I've always had an inclination towards art. I did actually try. I did a college course going back many years ago now, when I was 18, but I dropped out and decided I wanted to earn money, so I went and did that. But I've always been creatively inclined. I've always making, always thinking. I was a huge Art Attack fan. For those that love the program, I actually
Yeah.
that was on there. I'm the sort of person that likes to redecorate the house and paint furniture and be a little skip rat and go rummaging around for odd things. Uh, but the real shift occurred when I was on maternity leave with my little girl, and I just decided I didn't want to. I just wanted a career change, and I wanted to go study art and do it properly, and learn what I could about it in the proper setting. So I took the plunge and applied for staff's uni, and I got in, and the rest is kind of how it all followed through, and then Paint and Sip happened.
Brilliant. Well, you took my question of where it all started. So it seems that you've started from a young age, but the whole lift came, okay, here we go. I'm just going to go for it. And
Yeah.
it seems like you went for it and proper deep dived into it because you've got loads going on. So, what's your artistic practice, and what inspires you?
What inspires me? I think it's my practice does vary a little bit. It's multimedia. I don't just stick to paint. I use spray paints. I've always had a soft spot for like sculpture and everything. But for me, it's all about finding the gap in things. The difference in what we see and what we feel, and can that be brought to life in different areas. And I think the more the more figurative and visual and in your face it is, the better. I think the deeper down you can sort of reach out to people with that. So I like to translate experiences, emotions, places into abstract forms of art. So I take inspiration from anything. I'm the sort of person that if I see a metal pole discolored in one area, I have to take a picture of it because I like the way the discoloration of the rust, the passage of time with that. I'll then use that in a painting, or say a certain friendship or a certain relationship. The emotions that come with that, I will try and make a key to it. So, for example, with a particular relationship, I like to use their favorite color. I like to assign, say, for example, a passionate experience. I assign pinks, some reds, and things like that. I'd assign certain marks to it, use like numbering systems, and I guess I'm very explorative with my practice. I think each piece of art is a learning experience that I make, and I think the practice is essentially just learning. So yeah.
That's amazing. It's good that you can just see art in. I know that I do, but yours seems even more intense. That I bet how you see the world is it's rather beautiful. Like how you get something decaying and just see the colour and stuff in it. It sounds amazing. And I've seen your art and it varies every time I've seen it. Like
Yeah.
it's never the same, which I feel like sometimes people have a style, but your style's so it like you said, explorative. Yeah, that's definitely it. It just changes every time. It's like you just explore what you're feeling at that time and stuff. So that's absolutely it's amazing. So now you're stuck in isolation. It,
I am, yes.
how was the artistic vibes going there and stuff like how you find it? Just so then when people are watching this, they can get advice and stuff from yourself.
Um, for me, I'm to be honest, I'm absolutely loving it. I've got more creativity and more inspiration than ever before. And I think that's because I'm such a busy person. And because I've had such a busy period up until now, I'm kind of taking the silver lining is I'm actually able to stop, and I've got thinking time and mind wandering time. So for me, obviously social media is a big one. You see lots of news articles, and you see lots of different things people are posting up. It's all very personal, and I do tend to take inspiration from just sort of the little things, what's like essentially mundane. And so, for example, one thing I noticed is when I've been doing my hour exercise a day,
Yes.
there's a lot less litter about. I'm not seeing as much litter, and that was a big inspiration. So I started, I always go through word association. So if anyone out there is struggling, I recommend, the whole mind mapping thing and using word association. So, for example, the only piece of litter that I saw was a Kit Kat wrapper. So I started thinking about the colours, the reds, the lines, the shapes, the marks, the structure of the lettering and typography, and then I start thinking about consumerism, and then that sort of then goes into my sketchbook, and I start building. And usually the idea, as much as I do a little bit in sketchbook, the idea tends to just come randomly. So, for example, I've noticed there's been a lot of memes recently on social media. So that was what inspired a recent piece of me painting my back fence with confused cat memes.
So glad you mentioned that because I was just about to mention it. I was like, talking about not using a sketchbook,
Yeah.
let's use your back gates. And it is, if anyone can go on your social media, and I'm going to attach it to this hopefully because it's brilliant. It looks exactly the same and it's on your back gate.
Yeah. It's essentially, I was thinking, I need something big to paint on. And I was like, oh, well, I don't want to upset the landlord too much by like using a door in the house. But I thought, well, the fence is on its way out anyway. It was due to be replaced this summer. So I'll make it last a bit longer by adding a couple of thick layers of paint on. And I've also got a canvas in the process. So
I think it's a brilliant. See, you can use anything. So with a
yes.
sketchbook, just take it out, and that's not even graffiti, and that's a meme. Everyone's gonna love
Yeah.
that.
Well, it's something different. Just, and yeah, every time I go out to put some rubbish out, or I look out my living room window, I'm like, it just makes me smile. Like, and I think, especially in these sorts of times, I think if you can make a piece of art, and definitely, or I'd recommend to anyone, always be proud of your own art. Always showcase it. It's part of you that comes out. So yeah, I definitely toot my own horn when it comes to appreciating my own art because it makes me laugh, it makes me smile. So yeah.
Good, and that's what I think. That's what artists don't do is show the work because they'll go, "Oh, this is rubbish, throw it in the bin."
Yeah.
I'm awful for that. I'm like, "Oh no," or you make it dead private. But I think it's brilliant how you're like, "No, even if it's rubbish, it's
Mm-hmm.
your rubbish," and you can look
Exactly.
at it. It can make you laugh, or it can make you go, "Oh wow," and it's probably got something connected to it. But I think that's a brilliant. It's a really, really good frame of mind. So now let's get on to paint and sip because that is the real deal. That's your baby that you've created. So let's get in there. So do you want to tell us the outline of it and
The
stuff?
outline, yeah. It very much is. It is my second child. I love my daughter more than anything, but paint and sip does come a close second. Outline of paint and sip was actually I went through, like you were saying, where artists were you know, we were very self-critical of our own work, and we're not saying it's very good. So I went through a big phase of that, and so Paint and Sip was basically it's my own artistic practice. So what we run through on the events is how I create my paintings, and that initially started with painting with my daughter, and we were just throwing paint around, and it was sort of, you were like manipulating it in different ways, and it was a case of, God, there's such a beauty in this, and it's so, like, it was so exhilarating, and it was really therapeutic, and I just thought, I'm going to turn this into an event, and essentially that's what it is. It's bringing a class, a workshop that isn't the norm. It isn't, you know, everyone sitting down and painting the same thing. This is a workshop that is designed to bring out people's individualism, their own creativity, their own style, without limitation, without restriction, in a really calm, open environment where whatever you make is just, there's a beauty in it. I use a lot of psychoanalytical theory and a bit of psychology to sort of give it a bit of context and research, so people can understand and, I guess, take on board a bit better the absolute wildness I'm throwing at them. So yeah, essentially that's what it is. The events are ticketed. People can get a drink included. Obviously, for those that don't indulge in any alcohol, there is soft drinks. But I think that's the thing. It's that paint and sipping and just letting yourself go in the moment.
That sounds brilliant. I'm still unfortunate to not have been to one yet, but I will definitely, when this isolation is over, I'll be your first customer / artist there.
Oh, we'll get you on a big one as well. Get your big canvas, so big.
Go big, get my drink big as well. I am sorted. So, how many past events have you done there? So how long has this been going on for?
When did I start? So the first event was January 31st, 2019, I think. So we're well over a year now. And it initially started as just like it was like a one-off 3-event thing. So it was going to be once a month for 3 months, and it was going to be part of my uni assessment. And I just enjoyed it so much. People were asking me when the next ones were. So I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to run with this. Yeah, so we've done
a year on. Yeah, longer than
a year. Yeah, a year on, and we've done private ones. You know, but before you know, coronavirus hit, we were going national. But I'm hoping, you know, once this is all over and, you know, we're sort of all out the other side of it safely, or as best we can be, we can pick that back up again and hopefully grab our festival slots again through expanding onto festivals and things like that. So
that's brilliant. So you're going big, you've been noticed. It sounds like a lot of fun, and I definitely believe that when coronavirus, more people will want it because they've been stuck indoors. The artistic vibes will have come out. So I'm going to be honest, Mum, I think you're going to have more customers than you even
all that past like lockdown emotion is just going to come pouring out into art, and I think it's just going to be a beautiful experience. Definitely have to maybe do like some outdoor installation with all the art that everyone makes. Definitely.
Oh, I'm excited for it, and I bet you are as well. So, what is your favourite thing about Paint and Sip? I mean, I'm sure there's a million favourites, but give us a few.
Okay. The first thing is I love people's reaction. I've always been, not to sound too stalkerish, but I've always been a people watcher. I love, you know, my favourite pastime has always been sat outside a coffee shop and just watching the world go by. I love seeing how people interact, how they react. And yeah, so when I see how they come into the room before they engage in Paint and Sip, and then the expression when they leave, and you know, the confidence, you know, the energy even feels different, I think, in the room. Everything just feels a bit lighter, a bit more positive, a little bit more refreshed, and that's hands down my favorite thing. I always leave Paint and Sip buzzing. So, and I feel like other people do as well, and that's the biggest thing for me. So,
Mm.
sort of giving them a buzz gives me a buzz.
Oh yeah, it spreads. Happiness spreads. It's like
Yeah,
it's just you can't help. It's like a sneeze. When someone else sneezes, you sneeze and you yawn. The happiness and the excitement is just vibes, doesn't it? And like I said, your events are very colourful as well, which
yes,
I feel like also helps in like the good vibes and stuff. So I hate to obviously twist it, but everything has the complete opposite. So what's been maybe I'm not gonna ask for a lot of these. I'm sure there's none anyway, but have you found any hurdles if this is with this event or just events in general as being an artist?
um, yeah, I think yeah, they've definitely been hurdles. I'd be telling lies if I didn't say there were that there hadn't. I think it's been difficult because when I initially started it, and for quite a few months, there was no intention to make money from it. However, it was because it was starting to consume so much of my life that I have to kind of justify it to a degree for how much time I was putting into it. I'd love to be able to, just give it to the world free of charge, but unfortunately it's not the sort of world we live in. So that's been difficult trying to balance out, tallying up like what had the cost of materials, drinks prices because the drink included in the ticket price. Trying to bring them down. Now we've expanded. I've had to hire a team, so I have to pay staff members. I always sort of ensured that I went on the back foot, so I always took or didn't take anything at all, and it always went to paint and sip first. So that's been a hurdle because I think I'm a very self-aware person, so I didn't want it to turn into some sort of corporate franchise thing where it loses its essence. So that's still something I'm still struggling with now because I just want to sort of be as integral and genuine and not lose that initial sight of what I first wanted to create. Definitely.
So more just like that's not even a hurdle. That's just balance, isn't it? Trying to,
Yeah.
and like I said, you've got a busy life, so balancing all of that. And sometimes it is weird when like you have art galleries where you sometimes have to pay to go and see art when art is something you can't even pay for, sort of thing. It's just like
Yeah.
it's a strange thing. But like I said, if money grew on trees, we'd all be absolutely rich, wouldn't we? So it's
Well, that's it. Yeah, and it is. I think because it's very abstract, it's very expressive. Um, I remember I did have one comment from sort of an acquaintance, should we say? It was like, yeah, but the stuff you're telling people to do, a kid could have done it. And I get that. I've had that a lot. And there's someone actually written a book on, a kid could have done it and exactly why they couldn't as well. So that's something I think I've battled with because obviously everyone has their own inclination towards the type of art that they like. So having to almost get people to push their comfort zones and their boundaries is a big thing as well. And at the event, you do get people that are like, there's a certain thing that we do halfway through the event, which I won't spoil for anyone. For any that have been, they will know what it is. But there's a certain activity I get everyone to do, and usually I've sort of prep the room enough that they do just go for it. But so many people do turn around and like, oh, it's that letting go initially, and being very open minded because we're human at the end of the day. We can't unlearn what we've learned throughout life. So
can't teach a dog new tricks. It's really hard to do it. Like we're trying to stay indoors now, and it's like you can't go outside. You're like, I want to go outside.
It is.
Like you'll go do this, and they'll be like, no, I don't want to. Telling someone what to do is not easy.
No,
I'm bad for it, and I think artists are as well, and the quite young people. We're like, no, but I think it's brilliant that you take control and you do take them out of the comfort zones. That sounds brilliant.
yeah,
So
and it's sort of it's sort of I think just given the option of well, what's the worst that's going to happen? It's always down to risk, and I think that the more we can let go and and just sort of those little nuances that people can just go, oh, okay, I'm just gonna do this. It's very liberating, and that's what I try, I think, more than anything, is to get for people. So
Yeah. So, talking about you want to liberate people. So, what is your drive?
my drive, I think I've always enjoyed helping people to a degree. I've always been a nurturer. I've always been very supportive. My past jobs, before I went on maternity leave, my job was a community mental health support worker. I did that for years, and I absolutely loved it. Sort of, just supporting people to be independent. And you just sort of finding new ways to live their life, finding new ways that they can live their life. So yeah, that's always been a strong point. I've been a tutor before in other aspects, in other areas in life. So I think, yeah, that's definitely the drive, is seeing the other people go forward is always been my drive, because that's where I get my reward. Definitely.
Oh, that is it's so lovely.
It does sound a bit sickly sweet, but
No, it's not secrecy. It's what we need to hear.
Yeah.
And knowing that's what you want in your events, I mean, it's just beautiful. It's really, really nice. It's what people want to hear, and it's what we need.
That's what we need, yeah.
Them.
I'm not gonna lie, it's totally selfish reasons, because the more when I see other people buzzing and doing well, it urges me to do well in my own sort of things.
Oh yeah, you have to be selfish as well. You get the buzz. There's always something in it for us. Don't you worry. That is, we're human and everything. So, talk about your drive, but what are your future goals or aims with these painting sips? Like, not the end goal, because there's no end, but what's just your aims?
Future aims. I think I want to try and make it bigger. I want to expand it. I want to take it to more places. I want to take it to more people. I'm really sort of eager to do some outdoor community events. So if anyone's watching and they want to send us a message for after, when we're out the other side, we're already sort of prepping for the festival slots, like the pop-ups, and we did have some sort of community demonstrations lined up. So definitely something is to make it more outdoors, more community based. I want to take it to more people, more places. I've just before lockdown happened, I launched Paint and Sip Sister Company. So that's going to be a little bit quiet for now until I've built the funds up, once we're out the other side. But definitely move into other areas like art competitions and exhibitions and things like that. So yeah, definitely go bigger and wider and better.
Yeah. Up and up and up. There's no end for it, really, is there? Because there's no end to art.
No.
So it's just you carrying on. And so when we talk about what happens at the event, what do you want people to take out of it mainly, like for the actual customer, the artists who come in?
I think one thing I'd like them to take away the same thing or more than that I do, and it's that new sense of just self-discovery. I think it's a new confidence in their self. It's very much they've had a learning experience that's been very positive, and that actually they can apply it to other aspects of their life. I think when we all try something new and we really enjoy it, we're very much open to other aspects in life. We're open to more self-discovery and learning about ourselves and learning about others. So, and I also say that I like it to be a gym workout for your brain. So yeah, yeah. So I always like people to very much go home and feel like, oh wow, I've offloaded, but they haven't had to do that verbally. They haven't had that, that stress, because for some people it is so difficult to verbalize, anything, and there's stress going on in life. So by able to do that and almost sort of have I can't call it art therapy because I'm not qualified yet, and that's not the intention, but that is a route I will go down. But I do want it to be a very holistic experience that people can sleep well after. So.
Like a whole body experience in and out, basically, through art and just letting go. Because I do feel like you might not be like might not have the qualification of art therapist, but artists, you are helping people. So you are, it may not be therapy in the terms of it like strictly, but you are helping people. So
yeah, that's it. I suppose like someone would do a yoga class, or someone would do, you know, a spinning class or a clay class. I kind of like to fit myself in amongst all of that and say, well, this is an art class, but go wild. Basically, you don't have to, you know, you don't have to have any experience. You don't have to be creative. It's there to enjoy, to engage, and to make you feel better. So.
Oh, it sounds incredible. And I can't absolutely wait for this all to be over, coronavirus, so I can come back to. Are you located in Stoke mainly?
Yeah, so Stoke-on-Trent is where we host our majority of our own events. We are branching out. We're looking at we were hopefully we can pick it back up. We were looking to lock down our Manchester venue, a Nottingham venue, a Bristol venue, and a Birmingham venue.
Located everywhere.
Everywhere. I'm still trying to gather my team, and I'm also learning to let go of the reins because it's always been me, and the whole scripture and reel and all the information and facts I use off the top of my head. So getting that down for other people and having them shadow me and them taking the plunge has been it's a learning curve for everyone, I think. But I think it's really great. Like I've met some really wonderful people that I've had that I've got on the team and everything, and that's just the fact they're willing to come with me on this journey means the world and more. So once I've got the team fully expanded, hopefully, you know, when we're at the other side of this, we'll lock in the other venues and go big with it.
Brilliant. So I've done all my questions apart from, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Is there anything I'd like to add? It's always when you're kind of put on the spot, isn't it?
I have definitely put you on the spot, I'm afraid.
Definitely put me on the spot. Like when people ask you in like interviews, like, oh, so I've got any questions, and you're like, oh, I had loads and I don't know where they've gone. Anything I'd like to add is, I guess I'd like people to just go for it. If there's something creative you've got in mind, it doesn't have to match the picture in your head. I think sometimes, unless you try it, you're not going to learn. You know, we all have to do tests and experiments to find what works and doesn't work. And just because it doesn't necessarily go along tick every box along the way doesn't mean you're not going to have something, you know, to take from it at the end, or something that's actually not even what you planned, but it's a different kind of beautiful. So I think just sort of encourage people to just throw caution to the wind, because I still struggle with this sometimes. Like I get an idea in my head, it's maybe something creative that I want to make, and it's really difficult because you can picture this beautiful thing in your head and you think, oh, but this that I'm doing isn't going to work on that bit and doesn't line up. So I think just enjoy it for the ride. It's not the destination, it's the journey.
I think you ended that pretty well. And final thing, how can people reach you?
How can people reach me? So through email, which is at info@paintandsipevents.uk.com. You can direct message us on Instagram, on Facebook. You can comment us. I even think my number might even be on Facebook or Instagram. But email, message. We'll always try and get back to you within 24 hours. If we don't, it's just we're just really busy. But obviously we're not so much at the moment. So yeah, any questions anyone has or any sort of details, they're welcome to contact us.
Wow, that is. Well, I'll also include it at the end. So then everyone can see that in like writing, or you take a print screen of it and stuff. But thank you so much, Mim, for having this with us. I'm excited for your events. Unfortunately, coronavirus got in the way, but I feel like you're going to come back strong, and it's amazing. And I can say that I've seen your work, I've seen videos of your events, and they look so good. People would be quite silly not to go because it's an experience.
It's an experience. Oh no, thank you. It is, and it's the people that make the experience. It couldn't be done alone. So yeah.
But yes, so thank you very much for your time, Miriam. And I will speak. Well, I'll speak to you soon. I'm hoping people also speak to you soon.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
I haven't written anyone off. But yeah, no, much appreciated. Thank you.
Oh, but thank you very much. And that's 5 Films Out. And this is Mim from Paint and Sip UK. So see you later.
See you later. Thank you.